Heads up.
Martha, you good?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kathleen O'Reilly, the Chief of Transit. Joining me today is Deputy Chief Vincent Coogan, Sergeant Keyshawn Vaughn, Police Officers Lennox and Samerson, and Errol Sheriff Farran. Earlier today, at approximately 2:24 hours, police officers responded to a report of a bank robbery at a Chase located at East 27th Street and 7th Avenue, where a male entered the bank while brandishing a firearm and demanding money from the teller. The bank teller complied and handed the male an undetermined amount of money. After taking the money, the suspect fled the bank heading southbound on 7th Avenue. Detectives from Transit Bureau Central Robbery Squad were monitoring the bank robbery, discovered the description of the suspect matched the description from yesterday's shooting. Investigators radioed the subject's description to responding officers and directed them to canvass nearby train stations. Officers from Transit District 4 began canvass the Union Square station and held a southbound R train that was stopped at the station. The officers began to methodically check each train car and observed a male who fit the description. The officers then directed the male out of the train car, where he was discovered to be in possession of 3 loaded firearms that were nestled in a mound of $100 bills. The officers then arrested the male without incident. Speaking about the shooting yesterday, late last night, we discovered the incident. The perpetrator involved in that shooting was also involved in a bodega robbery earlier on Sunday, and then earlier, prior to the shooting, conducted another bank robbery. I want to commend the great work by police officers Samerson and Sharifan, as well as everyone in the Transit K-9 Central Robbery Squad. Any questions?
The suspect was wearing the same shoes at the same station, repeated crimes. What does this say about someone like him?
Very foolish. We transmitted pictures of those shoes, readily identifiable, very easy for our officers to spot. Once again, our cops are where they're supposed to be. They're riding the trains each and every day. We're still deploying 1,000 additional officers into transit each and every day. Just remarkable police work by the men and women in the Transit Bureau, which is something I see each and every day.
Any other priors, or where he's from, where he's living?
That's still under investigation at this time.
So the officer stopped the train, right, or held the train,
Yep.
and then walked. Can you kind of describe that scenario?
Absolutely, and if you want to speak to the officer directly, maybe she can best describe what she deployed. Based on the video of yesterday, she had a quite a good idea of where this perpetrator was going to be heading once that robbery took place. And I think the best person to describe that would be if the officer could come up.
When the radio went over that he was on the west side, I deduced that based on yesterday's report, he exited through the west section of Union Square, and it occurred on the west side, so I said he would come east. We grabbed the next train that pulled into the station, which was the southbound R train, and I went to the conductor, directed him to hold the train, and we canvassed each train car, Officer Sharifan and I, starting from the conductor, going back and also to front. And he was observed in the last train car, which faces the part of the park where he exited the train station yesterday. And he was identified based on what the chief said and with the shoes, and we stopped him without any incident.
Can you tell us how he appeared to you? I mean, did he put up any kind of a scrub?
He appeared calm and he did not resist.
Do you think he's responsible for any other crimes other than the last 48 hours?
Well, we're certainly looking into that possibility.
Any other unsolved bank robberies?
It's still under investigation.
When you hear about 3 loaded weapons in this bag, and people when they hear this, how do you kind of ensure their safety and just kind of give them peace of mind?
Well, it's disturbing, to say the least, to see there's that many firearms out on the streets, on our subways. But I can assure you, my cops, our transit officers, are deployed in the right places at the right time, and we're doing everything humanly possible to keep them safe.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.